All right, it is that time of the week. We're SKOL'ing with the enemy, baby. All right, welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I'm Onebar. If you watch this show, you know exactly who is joining us. We got the Lions, so of course we got Mike Kimber from Lions Talk by Chat Sports. Hit him up. Mr. Mike, I think I talked to you more than I talked to my mother.
Dude, you guys are the best. I got to say this, even for Vikings fans, I love chatting it up with you guys. My wife is getting a little bit nervous because I talk to you quite a bit, and she's like, look, you got to talk to me more. I'm the wife. These guys are Vikings fans. What the hell are you doing? Love it, man. You Vikings fans are the greatest. I tell you what, I was just talking to you off the side and how much you guys are nice compared to the rest out there. Shout out to the Vikings fans, man. Nothing but love over here.
Minnesota nice, man. It's a real thing. It is a real thing. So be sure, Mike. I mean, you're approaching 30,000 subs if I'm doing my math right.
Yeah, man, almost there. 30,000, very close. Oh my God, I think I'm like 15 away right now from 29,000 right now. So if you are not subscribed, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Even if you're a Vikings fan, come in the live show on Thursday. We'll talk Vikings if you got Vikings questions, because again, I'm from Holland, Michigan, folks. That's where Kirk Cousins from. He is a local hero here. I'm always supporting him unless he's facing the Detroit Lions like on Sunday.
Yeah, get your ass over there. Give him a sub. Let's get him a 29,000 for sure. But let's do this. Let's talk Vikings Lions, which Lions hot. I don't think anybody in Minnesota land is looking forward to this game. I think we're a little more scared than we want to be. But before we get into that, I got to ask you, it's been a handful of weeks so far. TJ Hockenson, do you miss him? Do you even think about him? Do you dream about him? Is he just gone?
No, not really. Look, we don't use the tight end that much over here. We are using more of our offensive weapons, such as wide receivers and running backs. I love TJ Hockenson personnel. I thought it was a great trade for both teams. You guys get a premium player. We get a draft pick, and he wanted to go to a winning situation. Why not? And it's not like he is a former player that's hating on the team. He's not like that at all. He's more of, like to smoke the little reefs over there if you with his hairdo. But I'm not missing the trade. Like I said, as soon as it happened, I said it was a B+ trade for me. Win for both teams. And because we just didn't use him. We honestly didn't. If you look at the stats here, nothing's really changed with the tight ends, in all honesty.
All right, well, it's been a while since we played the Lions. We played you guys obviously early in the season. You gave us a run for our money. We had to put up 14 in the second half, fourth quarter. I can't remember to actually come back and beat you guys. But you guys are hot. Like I said, I think, was it last 4 out of 5 you've won?
Yeah, we've won the 4 out of 5, and it's been pretty much a beatdown victories. We went to the New York Giants and just beat the living hell out of them, and it was great to see. And obviously the Jacksonville Jaguars game. Right now they're really starting to believe that they can win. I think that's something that we haven't had in a long time, and a lot of the playmakers that we're having are the young players that we drafted this year and last year. So you're seeing the young talent starting to come into their own. Lions are really taking on that black and blue division physical football team, kind of like the San Francisco 49ers is. So it's really, really nice to see.
So when you see the transformation, see how hot you guys are, do you attribute that more to the way the players are playing? Is it coaching? I mean, is it a little both?
It is both. Dan Campbell has been all about biting kneecaps, a physical guy. That's what he is. He's the punch you in the mouth. He's the I'm going to get it done, man. Okay, that's what he is. He's the physical guy. And so the players are really taking after him, and they're physical. They're starting from quarter 1 to the final seconds. So they're fighting really hard. You've probably seen it during the Thanksgiving Day game. That's how every game is right now. And the young players are developing. I mean, we're having a 6th-round rookie who's had 15 snaps, and he has 3 sacks on those 15 snaps. They're playing out of their mind. Kirby Joseph, safety, 3 interceptions. He's hard-hitting. Aiden Hutchinson, you're seeing what he's doing there. Amon-Ra, first down. The guy is just phenomenal. So you're seeing these young players come into their own, and it's leading the Lions into victories.
So Dan Campbell, as far as where this Lions team is now and where they're going, is he the guy? Is he the guy for the future years, or is it still dicey? Is there any question?
There's no question at this point. I mean, once we started winning and they're feeling the victories, it's no question that he is the guy. This is what we envisioned the Detroit Lions to be, a team that is going to win in December, and we're not just going to lay down. They're going to fight, and run the football. They took on his personality, and he's got good coordinators there. Ben Johnson leading this offense, a very high IQ mind that can scheme around defenses and take it on. And right now, with our defense has been so much better since we fired Aubrey Pleasant. We were the 32nd ranked defense, but in the last 5 games, it's more of, 15, 16 defense. And so it's really coming to the own. It's no question he's the guy right now in Detroit.
What's the biggest missing piece on this team holding you back from taking that next big jump?
I think it's probably interior defensive lineman right now, having a guy in the middle able to help out Aiden Hutchinson, because right now he's taking on a lot of double teams. And I think if you can get another guy in there, that will pretty much set the defensive line like we had in 2014 with Ndamukong Suh and Nick Fairley and Cliff Averill. So once we get another piece in there and maybe add a linebacker, I think this defense is going to take that next step and be really good. And if you look right now, we got the Rams pick and they're picking 4 in the draft. And guess what? We can get maybe a player like a Will Anderson or Jalen Carter who can fill that spot, and the Lions defense will jump next year.
All right. Once again, we're talking to Mike Kimber from Lions Talk by Chat Sports. Go over, hit that links down in the description, give him a sub. So in Lions land, is there thought that the Lions could actually make the playoffs this year?
Yeah, there is definitely optimism, but we're going to have to win out to do something like that. And just like Dan Campbell and the players are taking on, it's a 1-game playoff each week. So we got to be 1-0 on Sunday against the Minnesota Vikings. And if you look at the Giants schedule, it's pretty brutal. We beat the Giants, we beat the Commanders, so we would have the tiebreaker over those guys. If the Lions can get to 10 wins, 5 games left, the Lions can make the playoffs. And I think, again, the Vikings is the hardest team left on our schedule. Then you got the Jets. Other than that, we're talking about the Packers. We're talking about the Panthers and the Chicago Bears. And I think the Lions are going to be favored in all those games there. So, yeah, there is a feeling, but you got to win on Sunday. If we lose Sunday, I think that feeling's gone.
Shit, you guys are favored against us.
Yeah, favorite. It's weird.
Lions
A 10-2 team.
They're coming.
I know it's crazy, but I think people are really starting to see the momentum of this team. It's not just we're winning, it's kind of dominating right now. And we had a chance to win that Thanksgiving Day game. And we kind of lost at the last 25 seconds of the game. And that's a Super Bowl contender who is a really good football team. Now, I don't think it's going to be some easy game or anything on Sunday. It's NFC North. We always fight each other hard every single year. If your team is good, we still fight them hard. If your team is bad, you still fight us hard. That's how the NFC North and Lions and Vikings go. So I can feel it. We're a 1-point favorite. So that seems about logical right now of how the history of our teams have faced each other.
Well, a big part of that's going to see how Justin Jefferson turns out on Sunday. Hopefully he turns up. But I mean, last time we played, 3 for 14 yards in the first meeting. He did nothing. Expectations as far as Jefferson.
I definitely don't expect that to happen again. I think they'll do their best to contain him. If you can reduce Jefferson down less than 100 yards, I think you've done a phenomenal job. But again, Justin Jefferson's so elite. To be shut down twice seems difficult. Now, I know they're going to put Jeff Okudah on him, and they're going to bring safety over the top, so that will reduce it. But I think TJ Hawkinson, coming back to Detroit, I think Kirk Cousins is going to throw his weight quite a bit. You know it. So that's something to watch in this game. I think TJ probably has a big game in this one.
He's got like 2 missed touchdown catches so far. And I got to ask you, I mean, is that standard? I mean, Hawkinson, really? It
has been standard. Look, if you actually look at his stats as a Detroit Lion, it's going to sound crazy, but it's very similar to Eric Ebron as a tight end. And Eric Ebron was dropping a lot of passes. You'd have games that was great, but then you'd have games that, where the hell is he? And that was going on with TJ Hawkinson. He would have a monster game, and then all of a sudden he drops passes, and where is he? And so I think that's one of the reasons why the Lions traded him, and for the fact that we don't utilize him. But I think his name is overhyped more than what it should be. He's still a really good tight end. Don't get me wrong, but he's not the top, 3 tight ends in the NFL. He's top 10 for sure, though.
No, I think you said it best earlier. I mean, this was a win-win for each team. Vikings fans are very, very happy to have Hockenson. I hope he's in the plans for the future for him. And this was, I think, a pretty damn fair trade so far. Speaking of another trade the Vikings made with the Lions, we got to talk about Jameson Williams. Expectations as far as, are they still just going to bring him on nice and slowly? Should Vikings fans expect a dose of him on Sunday?
They're going to take him slowly. They showed that this past game. He had only 8 snaps, 1 target. I think he was predominantly used as a decoy. Now, I think he'll get a little more than that, maybe 15 snaps in this game. Should you be worried? Well, I do believe they'll probably take a couple deep shots with him. Other than that, I would not expect him to come out and be some all-elite wide receiver because they're taking him slow. The receiver you need to pay attention to is Amon-Ra first down. That is the guy. But Williams, he'll probably be more of a decoy in this game.
Amon-Ra first down. I've never even heard that. That's wonderful.
This guy is an amazing wide receiver. All he does is get first downs. I mean, he's constantly putting up over 100 yards every single game.
Great nickname.
This guy is open 24/7. He is our Justin Jefferson, a guy you don't expect to be one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, but he is. He's just always open. He's a better Golden Tate. That's just what he brings to the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, dude is good. I wanted him so bad coming out, and you guys got to steal Amon-Ra first down. Officially the best nickname I've heard probably in the last 3 days. So what's been the biggest change since the Vikings played the Lions early this season?
They believe, and they're actually knowing how to win games at this point. I think, like early on in the season, we knew we can compete with teams, but we didn't believe that we can actually win games. Now their confidence level is through the roof, and they're not playing as crazy before. They're more conservative and sound. We're not getting any penalties. We had 1 penalty in the last game, and it's just been like that for the past 5 weeks. And they're playing with a confidence that I haven't seen in a really, really long time. So that's the difference between week 3 and what's probably going to be on Sunday.
All right. Once again, joined by Mike Kimber. Lions Talk by Chat Sports. Links down in the description. Has there been a player on the Lions this year that has really kind of blossomed and you're surprised as far as how he's playing at this point in the season?
That is James Houston, our 6th-round rookie linebacker / edge. Again, I was just telling you, he had 15 snaps so far as a Detroit Lion in just in 2 games with 3 sacks. I don't know where this came from, but this guy has been a monster getting after the quarterback, and he's getting more snaps each game. That is something that your offensive line got to pay attention to. I think he's 2nd in the NFL of rookies for sacks. First, Aiden Hutchinson. So he is a player that nobody thought would be as good as he is playing, and he is playing out of his mind right now.
We know the Lions are probably going to take advantage of this Vikings defense that's giving up a ton of yards. You guys will have your yards. There's no doubt about that. But how do the Lions actually lose on Sunday?
The Lions will lose on Sunday if we do not score touchdowns. We're up, and you guys got a minute to go with Kirk Cousins having the football. If you guys have the football and say we're only up by 3, that's how we lose, because I do believe you guys have an offense that can easily go down there, either tie the game or win the game, just like we saw with the Buffalo Thanksgiving Day game. We can't give your offense any time on the clock at the end of the game, because again, it's going to come down to the final drive like it always does. And you got Justin Jefferson, you got TJ Hockenson, Adam Thielen. Your offense is really good. Kirk Cousins is distributing the football really well. If the Lions don't score touchdowns and we give you time, we lose the game.
Yeah, we can give up probably 6,000 yards to you guys on Sunday, but it will still come down to the last possession. Kirk Cousins is a madman this year. I hope he shows up on Sunday. You already talked about the draft. And I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. You guys are on a tear. You shouldn't even be thinking about the draft right now, but you do right now. I mean, it potentially could be a top 3 pick, courtesy of those Rams. Number 1 on your wish list.
Jalen Carter, the defensive lineman from Georgia. This guy's an absolute monster. I love what he brings to that Georgia defensive line, and I picture him on our defensive line and how it would work. We would have the same defensive line of back in 2014 where we had the number 2 defense in the NFL. He is a wrecking ball. You put him with Joshua Pascal, who we drafted in the second round this past draft, Aiden Hutchinson, and you have another first-round pick. I think you build that trenches. It would be absolutely outstanding. If you can't get Carter, Will Anderson would be the guy.
That's horrifying thought of a defensive line for the coming years. All right, wrapping this thing up. How do you see it shaking out on Sunday? You don't need a score prediction or anything, but how do you see it going down?
Same as it always is. It's going to come down to the last drive. I expect a high-scoring game, 28-32 type of football game. If you guys have the ball last, we lose. If you don't, we win. It's just, that's the way I see it right there. It's going to be a cardiac cat game. All the fan bases are going to be nervous, same as usual. And one of us is going to be heartbroken when, the zeros are across the board.
It's true. It's true. Everything you said is 100% true. When are you going live? You go live Thursday?
Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern time. If you're a Vikings fan, come on down, enjoy it. Throw in the comment section. I do a mailbag segment. You can ask anything for the last 30 minutes of the show. Ask about your Vikings. It doesn't even have to be related to Lions and Vikings. Love to talk anything fantasy football. Come down, enjoy it, and come with the one pride. We SKOL with each other. We'll have all sorts of fun.
All right, man. There you heard it. Lions Talk by Chat Sports. Mike Kimber wrapping up another SKOL'ing with the enemy. We know he is not an enemy. We love ourselves. So Mike Kimber. So hit those links up. Mike, appreciate you hopping on, man, and good luck on Sunday.
Yeah, good luck. Hopefully there's no injuries for both teams. Don't need it. And with all the teams that's going to, in the NFC North, that's going to win it, I am really happy that it's the Vikings and not the Bears and not the Packers. Man, kill it, guys. Kill it here. Just don't win on Sunday.
Appreciate it, man. Take it easy.
Adios.